I really can't see them just coming out next week and be like, Banjo's in the game, baby. Hey everybody, I'm Jammer, and let's not get all ahead of ourselves. This isn't a leak. This isn't a leak. This isn't a leak. I guess we could call it a theory, basically. That's kind of been going around. People are predicting that there's going to be a Newcomer reveal trailer coming up in the next week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Sakurai just say that he's not doing that? That there's no... What? Before we even get into that, I just want to thank you guys for that immense, amazing support on the video the other day. Oh my gosh. Not what I expected, but wow, what a positive feedback. I'm so just honored and happy you guys actually enjoyed that video. And of course, look forward to more Smash. Anyways, getting back to the topic on point. There have been some indications that there may be a new fighter trailer coming up for Super Smash Bros. How? One of the evidences is that the Japanese fighter playlist for the Super Smash Bros. Fighter trailers has recently been updated with one or more private videos. So basically new videos have been added to the fighter playlist trailers, whatever, but obviously we can't see them because they're privatized. Meaning that they put in a new fighter trailer for a new fighter. The interesting thing here is the same was done for both K. Rool and Simon Belmont 10 days before the Smash Bros. Direct. In addition to that, 10 days before the regular Nintendo Direct, or at least its original airing date, the Direct was obviously delayed, so obviously there's a bigger gap of time there, but the playlist was updated the same days prior of the original planned reveal of Isabelle. So what we could take from this information low is that they've put a new fighter trailer in this playlist, meaning there's something. And if trends are to be followed, I mean, we could theoretically be seeing whatever trailer they put into this playlist within the next 10 days or so. Another supporting evidence is that on the Smash Bros. Website. So when it was first launched at E3 2018, there was a little red new tag going over the fighter tab to kind of showcase, look, Ridley and Inkling are in the game. This little red new tag was removed a week prior to the Smash Bros. Direct, and then of course was replaced back on there after K. Rool, Belmonts, and all them were announced. If you're noticing the trend here, a week prior to the original air date of the Nintendo Direct, that red flag was also removed. Then of course with the delay and whatever, it was then replaced and put back on once Isabelle was announced. The red flag has now recently disappeared from the Smash Bros. Website, perhaps indicating that something might be coming soon. The red flag disappeared yesterday, and the playlist said it was updated 3 days prior to that, making the math all add up. The 10 days and the 7-day week, theoretically meaning we could be getting a new character reveal by Thursday next week. To play devil's advocate for just 1 second, Sakurai, like I previously mentioned in an interview, said that, hey, we kind of went overboard with our reveals here. We're gonna tone it down a little bit. Don't expect too many for a little while. Meanwhile, this comes up the next day, I swear. Perhaps none of this means anything. Maybe there is no pattern. Maybe it's just sheer coincidence. And it could be just, you know, hey, Isabelle's old news now, we can just remove the red flag. And perhaps them adding videos to that playlist just means they're prepping for ahead of time, so then they don't have to worry about adding them later. Or we go with the more ambitious idea of a new trailer next week. What? Here's the thing. What context is this trailer going to be in? Some people are saying
Smash Direct next week. No,
what? We've had nothing but directs this past few months. I mean, we've had no games and only directs. And yes, there's still a lot they obviously need to talk about with Smash Brothers, but do you really think it gets time for a Smash Direct already? Like, again? I know they need to still go over the Spirits mode. I know there's still probably other hidden stuff they need to go talk about. I'm sure there's obviously newcomers they need to show off. Plenty of them, but I personally feel like we'll be seeing that a lot closer to release rather than still 2 months out. I mean, we're still in that 60-day range before the release of the game, but I personally feel like the next Smash Direct we see will be the last Smash Direct until the launch of the game. So it makes a lot more sense for that Direct to be closer to release, thus getting people very excited going into the launch of the game. That's why I would think there'd be a Smash Direct sometime in November, rather than in the beginning of October, and then have, what, nothing until the release of the game? You understand what I mean here? Then there's the other option of they just put the trailer up. They could do that. It'd be weird, but I don't think it's unprecedented. If I'm not mistaken, during the Smash Wii U 3DS era, I'm pretty sure they just threw Rosalina up there, or maybe it was Little Mac. I can't even remember which one.
Nope, wrong again.
The point is, they just threw a Smash trailer on the website, and that's how people got the news update. It wasn't in any direct, no formal thing, no saying, hey, there's a newcomer tomorrow. Maybe there was, I don't know. And while that isn't a likely option, I guess it's still technically an option. That's my whole skepticism with this theorize of a Newcomer trailer coming up, just because what's the context? If there's no direct wrapper, if it is just a random trailer, are they going to be tying it into anything? Because like it would make sense to me if they were tying in that reveal with something else. For example, how they tied in the Isabel reveal with Animal Crossing, but there are plenty of other examples where they didn't do tie-ins, and I'm not really sure if it's gonna happen, but I know you guys don't really care if I think it's gonna happen or not. All you want to know is who I think it's gonna be if it is happening. If it's gonna happen. I mean, there was the recent Ken Masters leak, if you hadn't already seen it. People are still a little skeptical. I think it looks pretty legitimate. I mean, his face is pretty wonky, but Ken always kind of looks wonky to me. And he seems random enough for them to just throw up a trailer for him, I guess. Because technically he's a newcomer third-party character, but he's also just an Echo, so it's not like gonna melt the internet with that trailer, you know? I feel like the really big characters and big announcements need to be kind of centered around a direct when a lot of eyes are on it, instead of just the people who are checking the Smash website. Obviously, no matter who's announced, the trailer's gonna spread like wildfire. But I feel like if it's gonna be a big new third-party reveal or first-party character, I think the setting itself is important because there's an expectation of how many people are watching at that time. I really can't see them just coming out next week and be like, Banjo's in the game, baby! And I mean any brand new character for that matter, because I feel like they need time to actually describe the character afterwards, because the trailer is just for reactionary purposes, then we can dissect it all we want. But when it's completely brand new third-party characters, they give time for a little bit more spotlight to talk about stages that come with it, assist trophies, music, talk about what move calls back to what, giving them a little bit more starlight than just a trailer. So if I had to say who it's gonna be next week, if there actually is anything, I think it's more likely to be first party than third party anyways. So our unnamed Square representative, potentially Gino, Banjo-Kazooie, Sora, I guess. I think all brand new third-party characters are off the table for this next one. I could be wrong, though. I could see it just being something as simple as an Echo, just to get out of the way. But at the same time, our other Echoes, Chrom and Dark Samus, didn't really get formal trailers in the way that the other ones got CG ones, you know? So, if anything, it could just be a first-party reveal. And it could be the new Pokemon. Hi there, post-recording Jammer here, having an epiphany while editing. I had the idea that, well, next week they could actually launch a Pokemon Direct, covering a lot of stuff on Let's Go, because considering we've had a lot of information, trailers, and whatnot coming out over the past months or so since E3, and now that the release date is getting closer and closer, they kind of need one last thing to probably bring all the information together, all the trailers, and show off one last push to get fans excited for this next entry in the series. In addition to that, they could even talk about some hints towards Gen 8 that's coming out next year. While that may not be likely, they'll probably wait until after Let's Go is already out and we'll hear some more news on this later in the spring. There's still an opportunity to maybe talk about it. And then, of course, finally, relating to what we're even talking about in this video, they could totally, easily tie in a Pokemon Newcomer reveal right at the end of the Direct. This is a great way just to add some context to whatever Newcomer reveal might be happening next week, rather than it just being a trailer thrown up on the website. They could still be doing that, and there could be no Pokemon Direct, but this is at least something that makes somewhat sort of sense. I don't see a Smash Direct, but a Pokemon one may be a little bit more likely. Anyways, sorry for interrupting. Just wanted to quickly interject and throw that idea in there. So sorry about this. Go back to watching the video, and yeah. You'd think they want to try to coincide that with like the release and the hype cycle of Let's Go coming through, and maybe it be even a Pokemon tying in with that game. Or it could just be randomly whoever they're going to pick. Honestly, I keep going back and forth who it's going to be. For a while, it was always Decidueye, but then so many people have been saying Incineroar lately. Or maybe it's just someone else entirely different, which I completely welcome as an idea. Take it all with a grain of salt. It's not a leak, okay? It's not a leak. It's a theory. It's people noticing a trend. It really could still mean nothing. But let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you expect any new trailer next week? If trends are to be followed, I mean, maybe we could see something next week. Do you think it's going to be a third-party blowout? Or do you think it'll maybe be something as simple as just an Echo? Or some new first-party character? I mean, it could even be, what's his name? It could even be like Bandana D or someone, you know, smaller scale, but enough to get people excited. Definitely let me know that in the comments. Give this video a big awesome like if you haven't already. Definitely subscribe for tons more on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Like I said previously, I have another video coming up, game design oriented, kind of talking about Smash. And thank you again so much for all the amazing feedback and support on the last video. And I hope we can keep this momentum going. Hype cycle into Smash. Again, I know I'm being sappy, but just honestly, thank you so much. I've really thoroughly enjoyed being able to interact with you guys in such a positive way. Anyways, I'm getting too mushy gushy. Back to Smash, baby. Thanks again, guys, so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.